दंडवत प्रणाम माताजी।
So scheduled incarnation, in which we have done about the 4 Kumaras, the purpose of their incarnation, Dattatreya, the purpose of the incarnation, Kapila Muni, and then we saw about the Suyakya. And then he was later called Hari by the great father of mankind, namely Swayambhu Manu. Okay. Now the 6th verse. Dharmasya daksha dohitra ajanishtamurtyam narayano nara iti swatapa prabhavah drishtvatmano bhagavato niyamavalopam devastvananga prutana ghatitum na shekuhu. Before that, we have completed the exam up to 1, 2, 3, 1 was there, then 4, 5, 6. Now third term is 7, 8, 9, right? We'll do 7 and 8, 9 and 10. We'll keep it in split, 2 chapters. So it will be easy to learn also, isn't it? Dharmasya daksha dohitariya janishtah murtya. Dharmasya, of dharma, the controller of religious principles, Daksha, one of the Prajapatis, Duhitari, unto the daughter, Ajanishtaha, took birth, Murtyam, of the name Murti, Narayana, Naraha, Nara, iti, thus, Swatapaha, personal pronounces, Prabhava, strength, Drishtva, by seeing, Atmana, of his own, Bhagavataha, of the personality of Godhead, Niyama Avalopam, breaking the vow, Devyaha, celestial beauties, too, but Ananga Prutanaha, companion of Cupid, Ghatitum, to happen, none ever, Sheku, made possible. Now Lord wants to exhibit. What he wants to exhibit? His penance, as well as his strength, his austerity. Niyama avalopam. So, that will come next. Okay. So he appeared in twin form, Nara and Narayana. Nara and Narayana and Nara. In the womb of Murti, the wife of Dharma. Of the Murti. Took birth in the womb of Murti, who is the wife of Dharma. And she is also daughter of Daksha, Prajapati. Now, celestial beauties, the companion of Cupid, went to try to break his vows. Niyama avalopam. As always there, when somebody is progressing, then Indra is in trouble. Indra thinks that he is going to take his post. So he will send some apsaras and all. But they were unsuccessful. For they saw that many beauties like them were emanating from him, the personality of God. So Indra tried to send many apsaras. If you go to Badri, this katha we do there. And the apsaras were so horrified when they saw that many apsaras are coming from Narayana only. So they could not break the vow. And why this incarnation Lord takes? Lord is peacefully resting in Vaikuntha. Mahalakshmi is nicely serving Narayana. At that time, Narada says, what a wonderful bhoga you are doing. There the rishis are doing so much of tapasya. They are also your sons only. They are doing tapasya and your father is enjoying. Lord could not take this. Lord Sulacha, Lord sends Lakshmi to go and preach to Nagakanyas, because in her presence he cannot go. So when he sends her to preach, then he goes to do tapasya. When she comes to know that, when Mahalakshmi comes back, she comes to know that Lord has gone to do tapasya in the hilly region. He's just sitting under the sky. Immediately she takes the form of Badri. Badri means the bear, what do you call it? Berry tree. That is why you will find only one berry tree in the whole of Badrikashram. She takes the form of the berry tree, and because she cannot come like Lakshmi before him, but she gives a shelter to Narayana. She serves Narayana in the form of a tree because he has taken the vow of doing austerity. That is why in the fourth dham, Badrikashram is meant for tapasya. Howsoever you plan very nicely that I'll go and enjoy in Badrikashram, it will not happen. Because to please Lord over there, one has to do tapasya. Tapasya means voluntarily accepting difficulties. What is yatra? What is actually yatra? It is tapasya. Peacefully you are at home, you can lie down, sleep. But in yatra, what you do? Practically in this yatra, we did not sleep. Hardly we must have slept for 4 or 5 days. Every day morning, 2 o'clock, 1:30, we used to get up because high level 1 lakh was the crowd. But somehow we used to get very nice darshan in the morning when we used to come out by 6:30, 7 o'clock outside. So what is yatra? Yatra means voluntarily accepting difficulties. It is a volunteer. Voluntarily accepting. Why? Because when you experience the trouble in spirituality, you are not going to experience trouble in the material life. The trouble in the spiritual life is actually not a trouble. The tapasya in the spiritual life is actually a pleasure. And that is ananda. That is the reason of ananda. So here both of them have gone, Nara and Narayana. Another why Nara and Narayana went, because Sahasra Kavacha Rakshasa. They wanted to kill this Sahasra Kavacha Rakshasa. And this Sahasra Kavacha Rakshasa had a condition. One who does tapasya for 100 years, then he can remove my one kavacha. But he has to do 100 years kavach, 100 years tapasya. If a one person does 100 years tapasya, by the time next, he will regain it. Continuously it should be done. If he does 100 years tapasya, takes out one kavach, then next kavach he can take only when he does 100 years tapasya. And by the time, if he has not done, the time gap will make him regain that kavach. So Nara and Narayana both appeared. Lord only appears. First kavacha is taken by Narayana. Second kavacha by Nara. Odd all was by Narayana. Even all by Nara. By the time 999 happened, 999th kavacha by Narayana. 100,000th kavacha, by the time 1000th kavacha, now he is left only with one kavach. And immediately he became invisible. Now, invisible means he now is like, he left from that place. So then Krishna says, Narayana says, don't worry. Anyhow, in the next incarnation, I will appear in my full form. And Nara, you appear as Arjuna. That is how the Sahasra Kavach Rakshasa appears as who had one kavach? Karna. That is how Arjuna kills Karna. Krishna holds that one kavach, makes him go. Why Krishna cannot search him? Intentionally he leaves that place. So when Narayana took out one kavach at that time, that 100 years tapasya was done by Arjuna. Immediately he is ready for the next kavach. Like that 100 years went on. So for every incarnation there is a purpose. And that is how when Nara and Narayana does tapasya, they tell Lord Shiva to go from that place. They tell Lord Shiva to give that place. That is how Kedar Khand is actually Badrinath. That is why in the Badrinath temple you will have Kedarnath Vigraha. Lord tells him to go to the other side. Lord appears as a small boy. And Parvati and Shiva had a nice kutir there. Lord Shiva says, don't believe this boy, don't allow him inside. Parvati says, no, he looks very beautiful. He said, okay. Then she brought the small child inside. And she had to go for some reason outside. Lord Shiva also went outside. He locked the room. He locked the house. When they came, he said, I'll not open the door. You go wherever you want. That is how the whole Badrinath is actually Kedar Khand. People say Kedarnath we are going. If you do Badri, you are covering Kedarnath also. Okay. Andavanila Mataji, read the whole thing.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dharmasya daksha duhitariya janishta murtaya Narayano nara iti swatapa prabhavaha Drishtatmano bhagavato niyamavalopam Devyastva ananga pratana ghatitum nashepuhu. To exhibit his personal way of austerity and penance, he appeared in twin forms as Narayan and Nara in the womb of Murti, the wife of Dharma and the daughter of Daksha. Celestial beauties, the companions of Cupid, went to try to break his vows, but they were unsuccessful, for they saw that many beauties like them were emanating from him, the personality of Godhead. The Lord, being the source of everything that be, is the origin of all austerities and penances also. Great vows of austerity are undertaken by sages to achieve success in self realization. Human life is meant for such tapasya, with the great vow of celibacy or brahmacharya. In the rigid life of tapasya, there is no place for the association of women. And because human life is meant for tapasya, for self realization, factual human civilization, as conceived by the system of Sanatan Dharma, or the school of four castes and four orders of life, prescribes rigid dissociation from women in three stages of life. In the order of gradual cultural development, one's life may be divided into four divisions: celibacy, household life, retirement, and renunciation. During the first stage of life, up to 25 years of age, a man may be trained as a brahmachari under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master, just to understand that woman is the real binding force in material existence. If one wants to get freedom from the material bondage of conditional life, he must get free from the attraction for the form of woman. Woman or the fair sex is the enchanting principle for the living entities, and the male form, especially in the human being, is meant for self realization. The whole world is moving under the spell of womanly attraction, and as soon as a man becomes united with a woman, he at once becomes a victim of material bondage under a tight knot. The desires for lording it over the material world, under the intoxication of a false sense of lordship, specifically begin just after the man's unification with a woman. The desires for acquiring a house, possessing land, having children, and becoming prominent in society, the affection for community, and the place of birth, and the hankering for wealth, which are all like phantasmagoria or illusory dreams, encumber a human being, and he is thus impeded in his progress towards self realization, the real aim of life. The brahmachari, or a boy from the age of 5 years, especially from the higher caste, namely from the scholarly parents, the Brahmanas, the administrative parents, the Kshatriyas, or the mercantile or productive parents, the Vaishyas, is trained under 25 years of age under the care of a bona fide guru or teacher. And under strict observance of discipline, he comes to understand the values of life, along with taking specific training for a livelihood. The brahmachari is then allowed to go home and enter householder life and get married to a suitable woman. But there are many brahmacharis who do not go home to become householders, but continue the life of Naishtika brahmacharis without any connection with women. They accept the order of sannyas or the renounced order of life, knowing well that combination with women is an unnecessary burden that checks self realization. Since sex desire is very strong at a certain stage of life, the Guru may allow the brahmachari to marry. This license is given to a brahmachari who is unable to continue the way of Naishtika brahmachari. And such discriminations are possible for the bona fide Guru. A program of so called family planning is needed. The householder who associates with women under scriptural restrictions after a thorough training of brahmacharya cannot be a householder like cats and dogs. Such a householder, after 50 years of age, would retire from the association of women as a vanaprastha to be trained to live alone without the association of women. When the practice is complete, the same retired householder becomes a sannyasi, strictly separate from women, even from his married wife. Studying the whole scheme of dissociation from women, it appears that a woman is a stumbling block for self realization. And the Lord appeared as Narayan to teach the principle of womanly dissociation with a vow in life. The demigods, being envious of the austere life of the rigid brahmacharis, would try to cause them to break their vows by dispatching soldiers of Cupid. But in the case of the Lord, it became an unsuccessful attempt when the celestial beauties saw that the Lord can produce innumerable such beauties by his mystical internal potency, and that there was consequently no need to be attracted by others externally. There is a common proverb that a confectioner is never attracted by sweetmeats. The confectioner who is always manufacturing sweetmeats has very little desire to eat them. Similarly, the Lord, by his pleasure potency, can produce innumerable spiritual beauties and not be the least attractive beauties of material creation. One who does not know alleges foolishly that Lord Krishna enjoyed women in his Rasalila in Vrindavan or with his 16,000 married wives at Dwaraka. Hare Krishna Mataji.
So much about women is given, isn't it? So sometimes a woman feels bad. Oh, what is this? Too much Prabhupada has written about women. But Prabhupada has written about woman, but not mother. There's a lot of difference between a woman and a mother. That is why every woman should be motherly. Woman is the lusty desires, the attracting quality, the eagerness to attract others. You see, there's a way to dress. It is not gold is Maya. How you're wearing the gold. That is why in the Brahminical culture, if you see how the woman wears, how the woman, any cultured family you can see, how the woman dresses. The first culture itself is shown. That's why Prabhupada says, you come in such a way that you attract everyone to Krishna, not to yourself. If that attitude is there, then if that attitude is that people should look at me, then she is a woman. If she makes a person look at Krishna, then she is a mother. Simple. So that then she is also called as Graha Lakshmi. Not that every wife is a Graha Lakshmi. There are wives who pull their husbands in the material life. And really they make the husband a donkey. He will strive hard to make her happy. And still she is not happy. The donkey, what he does, the she-donkey always wants sex desires. She has so much of sex desires. The male donkey has so much effort, she has put so much efforts to keep her happy. And that lady is not called as a Graha Lakshmi. A Graha Lakshmi is one who is mother even to the husband. She has a motherly attitude. She always thinks of the benefit of the husband. So there's a lot of difference. Prabhupada speaks about motherly attitude also. Prabhupada speaks about the tolerance of a woman when it comes to Chevan Muni case. When it comes to, yes, a woman is the cause of impediment in the path of self-realization. Yes, there also Prabhupada has spoken very boldly. Which woman who is always interested in show-off tendency she has. A lot of lusty desires. Kamam dahanti krutino nanu rosha drishtaya rosham dahanta mutatena dahantya sayyam soyam yadantaramalam pravishan bibheti kama katham nu punarasya manashrayeta. Okay. Kama, lust, dahanti. chastise, Krutinah, great stalwarts, Nanu, but Roshadritya, by wrathful glance, Rosham, wrath, Dahantam, being overwhelmed, Putaha, although, they, Na, cannot, Dahanti, subjugate, Asayam, intolerable, Saha, that, I am him, yet because Antaram, within, Alam, however, provision, entering, Vibheti is afraid of, Kama, lust, Katham, how, no, as a matter of fact, Puna, again, Asya, his, Manah, mind, Shrayata, take shelter of. Now, star worlds like Shiva has been spoken. What they do by their wrathful glance, the Hantam, they overwhelm and subjugate him. Yet they cannot be free from the effects of their own breath. Asayam. What happens? Such breath can never enter into the heart of Lord, who is above all this. So how can lust take shelter in his mind? Now, very important subject this is. What Shiva does, he opens his third eye and burns Cupid. You know the story of that. That is why Kulashekar Alvar says, see, don't come near me. You remember the wrath of Shiva. You don't try to enter my heart, because in my heart, Krishna is there. And you know that Krishna has Sudarshan. Now, Lord Shiva with his eyes can burn you, then Sudarshan what? They understand the effect of Sudarshan. Sudarshan is the most powerful. So in this way, Kulashekar Alvar actually glorifies Krishna. Now Krishna is very peaceful. Shiva shows anger. Then what happens is when he shows anger, actually the effects of anger is experienced. Now Lord doesn't show anger. When he doesn't show anger, there is no effect. Wrath doesn't enter in his heart. So when you don't have enmity, anger towards anyone, that person cannot enter your heart. Simple. If I call you fool, you get angry when you take that words. Words has entered in you. When you are peaceful, the word has not entered in you. You are angry over lust. You show anger over lust. That means you have taken the lust and then you are showing the anger. Lust could enter. When you are not getting angry, where is the question of lust entering? You are disturbed when something enters in your heart. Now we get disturbed when somebody speaks nonsense about us. That means you have taken it. That is why you are disturbed. A self-realized soul doesn't take. Lord doesn't take anyone's words. Lord doesn't get angry. That means he is not affected by lust. Lust could not enter. Cupid tries to distract. Like Cupid tried to distract Lord by sending celestial angels, but could not do that. Apsaras saw the Lord is a Shroth for everything. So in this verse, what we come to learn is, you take something, then you get angry. You don't take, then you are peaceful. But it is not so easy. Neither it is artificial. It is Krishna's mercy. If a person is unaffected by the things happening around, it is Lord's mercy. It cannot happen so easily. It can only happen at the level of bhava and prema. It cannot happen at the level of sadhanas. At the level of bhava and prema. That is how Kulashekar Alvar says, don't try to enter, because in my heart Krishna is placed. Ambarish Maharaj, that is why, trains the trains a devotee by saying Savai Mana Krishna Padarvanti. You always chant Krishna's name, keep Krishna in the mind, always be focused in Lord, and use your senses in his service. Naturally, those things, anything like which is disturbing, will not enter the heart. Okay? Dakshaji.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Shloka 7. Kamam dahanti krutino nanu rosha drashtya. Rosham dahantu munutena dahanta sahayam. Soyam yadantara pravishan vipeti. Kamam katham nu punarasya manashrayeta. Translation. Great stalwart like Lord Shiva can by their wrathful glances overcome lust and vanquish him. Yet they cannot be free from the overwhelming effect of their own wrath. Such wrath can never enter into the heart of him, the Lord, who is above all these. Was
Your voice
engaged
is
in
not
severally.
coming.
Now, Mataji, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Now?
Yeah, coming.
Now it's
Read.
coming.
Read.
Okay, Mataji. When Lord Shiva was engaged in several austere meditation, Cupid, the demigod of lust, threw his arrow of sex desire. Lord Shiva, thus being angry at him, glanced at Cupid in great wrath, and at once the body of Cupid was annihilated. Although Lord Shiva was so powerful, he was unable to get free from the effect of such wrath. But in the behavior of Lord Vishnu, there is no incidence of such wrath at any time. On the contrary, Bhrigu Muni tested the tolerance of the Lord by purposely kicking his chest, but instead of being angry at Bhrigu Muni, the Lord begged his pardon, saying that Bhrigu Muni's leg might have been badly hurt because his chest is too hard. The Lord has the sign of the foot of Bhrigupada at the mark of tolerance. The Lord, therefore, is never affected by any kind of wrath. So, how can there be any place for lust, which is less strong than wrath? When lust or desire is not fulfilled, there is the appearance of wrath. But in the absence of wrath, how can there be any place for lust? The Lord is known as Aptakama, or one who can fulfill his desire by himself. He does not require anyone's help to satisfy his desire. The Lord is unlimited and therefore his desires are also unlimited. All living entities but the Lords are limited in every respect. How can be limited satisfy the desire of unlimited? The conclusion is that the absolute personality of Godhead has neither lust nor anger. And even if there is sometimes a show of lust and anger by the absolute, it should be considered an absolute benediction. Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandavad Pranam.
So, here Lord is unaffected because Lord doesn't take it only. That is why he is unaffected. Next verse. Just 2 minutes. Yeah. Next. Verse number 8. Vidyas sapantanya udita patribhe antiragyo balopi san upagatas tapasevanani tasma adad ध्रुवगतिं वृणते प्रसन्नो दिव्यास्तुवन्ति मुनयो यदुपर्यदस्तात्. Viddah, pinched by Sapanti, co-wife, Udita, uttered by Patribhi, by sharp words, Anti, just before, Ragya, of the king, Bala, a boy, Api, although, son, being so, Upagata, took to, Tapase, severe penances, Vanani, in a great forest, Tasmai, therefore, Adat gave as a reward Dhruvagatim, a path to the Dhruv planet, Granate, on being paid for, Prasanna, being satisfied, Divya, denizens of higher planets, Stuvanti, do pray, Muneha, great sages, yet thereupon, Uparyap, Adhastat, down. Now, about Dhruv Maharaj has been spoken. So, Dhruv Maharaj was pinched by the words uttered by king's co-wife, that means his stepmother. So he took up severe austerities, finances in a great forest, and Lord was very satisfied, Prasanna. And Lord is prayed in the upper planetary system, down planetary systems. So in this way, Lord is satisfied by the prayers done by Dhruv Maharaj. So Dhruv Maharaj is just 5 years old. Just now in the Katha, we had Dhruv Maharaj Katha. How for 4 months he did a lot of austerities. First month, he just took some grass, dry grass, once in 3 days. And in this way the count comes. Then afterwards he just took some water. Then he took some air. Then he stopped the air also. So for 4 months he did a lot of tapasya. Where he did? In Madhuvan. We had gone now to Madhuvan, Vrindavan, Dhruvatila. There he did a lot of tapasya. And suddenly Lord appears. At the time when Lord appears, suddenly he sees that he is not able to see Lord within his mind. Then he opens eyes and sees Lord is there in front of him. And as a child, because he was not knowing how to pray, he says, "Oh Lord, I don't know how to pray." Then Lord kept his conch shell on the head of Dhruv Maharaj. Then Dhruv Maharaj could utter the verses. There are some 11 or 16 verses. And it so happened that Dhruv Tila temple was closed. And we had our train from Mathura at about 4:30. And they told that it's going to open 4 o'clock. How are we going to catch the train? Station is though very close. So then we were just chanting these verses. We had enough time. And we chanted the prayers done by Dhruv Maharaj to Lord. Very important prayers, those 11 verses. Just chanted. From inside, the priest was hearing. He came out and he said, "I'm so glad that you took these prayers. I don't know, I was not to take. Generally, we skip out, na? We just tell and then, oh, chalo katha ho gaya." Some intuitions so that read out all the 11 prayers. Then he opened the temple, gave us a darshan. He told, and in that 11 verses were put around the temple. So those prayers are very important. And Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. This mantra was given to Dhruv Maharaj. Okay. The 4th canto, you will find all these verses. And possible, learn the verses of Dhruv Maharaj. Prayers of Dhruv Maharaj to Krishna. Just 11 verses are very beautiful verses. In that he says that I came here for asking some pieces of glass. He repents actually. He repents. While coming back, he repents. Lord had come to me. Lord has come. And I am asking some pieces of glass. I want some kingdom, which is more greater than even my great-grandfather. When Lord has come, I should have asked for the love of Lord. Instead of that, I'm asking something else. So in this way, beautiful prayers are there. Aruna, read.
Hare Krishna. Text 8. Viddha sapatnyuditapatribiranti rajyo balopi sanupagatas-tapasevanani tasma ada druvagatim granato prasanno divyastu vanti munayo yaduparyadastat. Translation: being insulted by sharp words spoken by co-wife of the king, even in his presence, Prince Tura, though only a boy, took a severe penances in the forest, and the Lord, being satisfied by his prayer, awarded him the Dhruva planet, which is worshipped by great sages both upward and downward. Purport: Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. When he was only 5 years old, Prince Dhruva, a great devotee and the son of Maharaja Uttanapada, was sitting on the lap of his father. His stepmother did not like the king's patting her stepson, so she dragged him out, saying that he could not claim to sit on the lap of the king because he was not born out of her womb. The little boy felt insulted by this act of his stepmother. Nor did his father make any protest, for he was too attached to his second wife. After this incident, Prince Dhruva went to his own mother and complained. His real mother also could not take any step against this insulting behavior, and so she wept. The boy inquired from his mother how he could sit on the royal throne of his father, and the poor queen replied that only the Lord could help him. The boy inquired where the Lord could be seen, and the queen replied that it is said that the Lord is sometimes seen by great sages in the dense forest. The child prince decided to go into the forest to perform severe penances in order to achieve this objective. Prince Dhruva performed a stringent type of penance under the instruction of his spiritual master, Sri Narada Muni, who was specifically deputed for this purpose by the personality of Godhead. Prince Dhruva was initiated by Narada into chanting the hymn composed of 18 letters, namely Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, and Lord Vasudeva incarnated himself as Prishnigarbha, the personality of Godhead without four hands, and awarded the prince a specific planet above the seven stars. Prince Dhruva, after achieving success in his undertakings, saw the Lord face to face, and he was satisfied that all his needs are fulfilled. The planet awarded to Prince Dhruva Maharaja is a fixed Vaikuntha planet installed in the material atmosphere by the will of the Supreme Lord Vasudeva. This planet, although within the material world, will not be annihilated at the time of devastation, but will remain fixed in its place. And because it is a Vaikuntha planet, never to be annihilated, it is worshipped even by the denizens of the seven stars situated below the Dhruva planet, as well as the planets which are even above the Dhruva planet. Maharishi Bhrigu's planet is situated above the Dhruva planet. So the Lord incarnated himself as Prishnigarbha just to satisfy a pure devotee of the Lord. And Prince Dhruva achieved this perfection simply by chanting the hymn mentioned above after being initiated by another pure devotee, Narada. A serious personality can thus achieve the highest perfection of meeting the Lord and attain his objective simply by being guided by a devotee who automatically approaches by dint of one's serious determination to meet the Lord by all means. The description of Prince Dhruva's activities can be read in detail in the 4th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna.
So this is a very nice thing which has been told. That means Prishnigarbha. Generally we read about Prishnigarbha, that Prishni and Sutapa, they did lot of austerity. Lord appeared as Prishnigarbha. What is the purpose? Purpose is to deliver Dhruva. Or Dhruva Maharaj, he appears as Prishnigarbha. Yadavena, this is the last verse. Yadavena muttapathagatam dvijavakya vajra nishplushta paurusha bhagam niraye patantam tratvartito jagati patra padam chalebhe Dugdha vasuni vasudha sakalani yena. Yat when Venam unto King Vena, Utpatha Gatam, going astray from the righteous path, Dvija or the Brahmanas, Vakya, words of cursing, Vajra, thunderbolt, Nishplushta, being burnt by Paurusha, great deeds, Bhagam, opulence, Niraye, into hell, Patantam, going down, Tratva, by delivering, Artitaha, so being prayed for, Jagati, on the world, Putrapadam, the position of the son, Cha as well as Lebe, achieved, Dugdha, exploited, Vasuni, produce, Vasudha, the earth, Sakalani, all kinds of, Yena, by whom. Now, how was King Vena? He was astray. Astray means he was not following the path of really righteousness. So the Brahmanas, they cursed him. They cursed him. And because of that curse, Nishprushta, he was burnt. When a Brahmana curse, as pure Brahmana curses, now the days are gone, and that person's days has to go. He was burnt. He was burnt with his good deeds and opulence. Everybody does not some good deeds and all. Everything gone. All his good deeds also went up. And now is Niraye. Niraye went to hell. Now Lord appeared as Prithu. Actually, they churned the body of Vena. And after churning the body of Vena, Prithu appears. In this way, he delivered the condemned king Vena from hell and exploited the earth by drawing all kinds of crops as produce. So in the kingdom of Prithu, wonderful crops is to grow. When you say this word exploited, dugdha, it is not, you cannot search out good words in English. When you have to really translate, dugdha means, what do you say? Milking.
Extract.
Cows, extracting. So, in the same way, milking mother. Mother is giving the milk in the form of crops. So, in the reign of the rule of King Prithu, the whole earthly planet is looking very beautiful. And everywhere, huge crops, people were not starving. When the people are starving, it's a lot of devastation happening. We should understand a lot of sins are also increasing. Okay, Bindu Mataji, read.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Yatvenam utapata gatam dvijavakya vajra nishplushta paurusha bhagam niraye patantam tratvartito jagati putrapadam chalebhe dugdha vasuni vasudha sakalani yena. Translation: Maharaj Vena went astray from the path of righteousness, and the Brahmanas chastised him by the thunderbolt curse. By this, King Vena was burnt with his good deeds and opulence and was en route to hell. The Lord, by his causeless mercy, descended as his son by the name of Prithu, delivered the condemned King Vena from hell, and exploited the earth by drawing all kinds of crops as produce. Purport: according to the system of Varnashram Dharma, the pious and the learned Brahmanas were the natural guardians of society. The Brahmanas, by their learned labor of love, would instruct the administrator kings how to rule the country in complete righteousness and thus the process would go on as a perfect welfare state. The kings or the Kshatriya administrators would always consult the council of learned Brahmanas. They were never autocratic monarchs. The scriptures like the Manu Samhita and other authorized books of the great sages were guiding principles for ruling the subjects, and there was no need for less intelligent persons to manufacture a code of law in the name of democracy. The less intelligent mass of people have very little knowledge of their own welfare. As a child has very little knowledge of its future well-being. The experienced father guides the innocent child towards the path of progress, and the childlike mass of people need similar guidance. The standard welfare codes are already there in the Manu Samhita and other Vedic literatures. The learned Brahmanas would advise the king in terms of those standard books of knowledge and with reference to the particular situation of time and place. Such Brahmanas were not paid servants of the king, and therefore they had the strength to dictate the king on the principles of scriptures. This system continued even up to the time of Maharaj Chandragupta, and the Brahmana Chanakya was his unpaid prime minister. Maharaja Vinu did not adhere to this principle of ruling, and he disobeyed the learned Brahmanas. The broad-minded Brahmanas were not self-interested, but looked to the interest of complete welfare for all the subjects. They wanted to chastise King Vena for his misconduct and so prayed to the Almighty Lord as well as cursed the king. Long life, obedience, good reputation, righteousness, prospects of being promoted to higher planets, and blessings of great personalities are all vanquished simply by disobedience to a great soul. One should strictly try to follow the footsteps of great souls. Maharaja Vena became a king undoubtedly due to his past deeds of righteousness, but because he willfully neglected the great souls, he was punished by the loss of all the above mentioned acquisitions. In the Vamana Purana, the history of Maharaja Vena and his degradation are fully described. When Maharaja Prutu heard about the hellish condition of his father, Vena, who was suffering from leprosy in the family of the Melicha, he at once brought the former king to Kurukshetra for his purification and relieved him of all sufferings. Maharaja Prutu, the incarnation of God, descended by the prayer of the Brahmanas to rectify the disorders on earth. He produced all kinds of crops, but at the same time, he performed the duty of a son who delivers his father from hellish conditions. The word Putra means one who delivers from hell, called Put. That is a worthy son. Hare Krishna Mataji.
So Prithu Maharaj, he appeared for delivering his father, at the same time giving the earth, giving the people all the benefits of the earth, and actually showing what is righteousness. So as a son, the son has a duty to deliver their father. Like Bhagirathi, he called Ganga to deliver the forefathers. In this way, Prithu Maharaj's appearance has been given. The cause of the appearance has been given. So in this last verse, what we learn, though Vena was a very good king, it is not just to become a very good king. One has to respect the Brahmanas, one has to respect the pious people. What is the use of being moral? Morality is high. What is the being of a moral person? But if he is not a spiritual person, then all his good deeds are just in vain. Okay? Any questions in this one?
Mataji, may I ask a question? Text 7, last sentence. The conclusion is that the absolute personality of Godhead, has neither lust nor anger, and even if there is sometimes a show of lust or anger by the absolute, it should be considered an absolute benediction. Does it mean it is a benediction for us when Lord shows anger? Should
Yeah.
we understand it that way?
Yeah, because the same thing is given in Bhagavad Gita. When Lord looks at everyone, I have killed everyone. That is an absolute benediction. When Lord exhibits his lust in the form of Venu Geet,
Huh.
Bhagavana Pita Ratri, oh Lord, still exhibiting. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Any other doubt?
Mataji, yeah. Mataji, I have 3 questions. First is like just now we read that he descended as Prithu Maharaj to deliver King Vena. Now here he is coming to deliver King Vena who did not show any respect, or he was not following the path of righteousness. And there on the other hand we see that he's coming to kill Karna also. Like he's in his previous birth when he came as Sahasra Kavacha, there he took the responsibility, or out of his mercy he removed his kavach, and then when he is left with one, he is ensuring that that also is gone. So how do we understand this kind of mystical behavior?
He is not son of Karna, no?
Of course he is not,
Mhm.
but then he himself is choosing to become son of King Vena.
Yeah, because Brahmanas wanted. Brahmanas churned the body.
Yeah.
Brahmanas churned the body, and in that, what did they churn? They took all the good merits and prayed, Lord, that you appear, who is a personification of all the good merits. When you churn the butter, what happens? The butter comes up, the rest is the water. That way, when you churn the body, you have removed all the good things, and Lord is the source of all the good things. Now, what is left is the degrading thing, because of which he had to go to hell and suffer. That is why he is born as a leprosy person. Lord is not forgetting even the pious activities also. Lord doesn't forget anything. Even if a small pious activity is done, Lord remembers. And exhibition of an anger is also his mercy towards Karna.
Of course.
Second question.
Like, yes, like here we read how women have been depicted as embodiment of lust and desire. Then why is it that they are to be protected? If they are so bad, then
They can be
let them
protected only by good culture. That is why right from the beginning, the dress code for a girl is designed. Pavade, how she sits. Is right from a small child, you make a child wear something nonsensical dress. Child doesn't know how to sit, how to stand. Good culture. You see, if you go to South also, nowadays, anyhow, but South, still the culture is maintained. Now, the exhibition of the body should not be done. Even when the child is 5 years old, or 2 years old, or 3, exhibition of the body should not be done. Then the child is protected. And then the girl is protected in different places by the demigods. Tika, bangles, payal. This all should be there. Not that the hand is not having any bangles. Bangles, there is a book, why the ornaments are worn, how the ornaments protect the woman.
Oh.
That's a nice book in Udupi I purchased. In that it is very clearly said, there is a demigod who protects this part. That is why you are wearing bangles. The jingling of the
kindly
bangles.
share, Mataji.
Nice book it is. So in this way, I don't know where I kept, but I have read the whole thing. I have to see now, search. Ornaments are not exhibition. Ornaments are for the satisfaction of a particular demigod. Why you are wearing the tika? Everything. Why the kundala is put. You see, a woman doesn't put anything, how rubbish she looks. All these are the ornament, not only for a woman, even for a man. They put kada, they put small, small diamonds. See, Brahmin people, a small thing. All has to be done.
Then, Mataji, why, this is the third question, then why do we hear so many crimes being perpetrated on women if she is the one embodiment of lust?
The crime is done, na? Because if she is embodiment of lust, then all the things, dirty things will happen on her. Cultured girls, they will never suffer. But non-cultured girls, they themselves exhibit now what to do. You
No, I
see the
mean to
profile
say,
photos.
like they are not the ones who are perpetrating. Means they are at the receiving end. So if men do not have that kind of thing, and it lust is there in the woman only so many times, like especially
It
it's
is like
mentioned
fire
in
and
9
butter.
times.
Fire and butter. If man is a fire, a girl is a fire, then man is a butter. He has to melt. It's not receiving end or this end. Both are interrelated with each other. Lust is there in man also, but it is provoked by whom? Provoked by a woman.
But why do we say that 9 times more is there, Mataji?
If she doesn't exhibit her body, then the man is quiet. After seeing a man's body, no lust appears. After seeing a woman's body, only lust appears. You keep a man and woman naked. Man is not beautiful. It's woman who is beautiful. It's a
Then
beauty
she can
which
be
attracts.
called beautiful. She cannot be called lusty, man.
No. One is beautiful, one is lusty. When you say that same beautiful is used for attracting herself, and that is lust. That is lust. And sometimes, yes, injustice happens to a nice lady also, a nice woman who had no attracting qualities. Man had lusty desires towards her. Beauty attracts people. Simple. It can be self-exhibited or it can be attracting others. That is why very careful. The parents also should be very careful when they have daughters. It's not so easy to grow a daughter. Like ornament is not so easy to be taken care. The same way, fathers, children, father, mother takes a lot of care when they grow the child. Lust means
big
that is, it's a great responsibility. When the Kanyadan happens, the father, mother feels relieved. Yes, I have given to her. Now, the daughter has got married. Marriage of the daughter is the biggest happiness. At the same time, there is a dukha. The daughter goes. But this is the biggest responsibility. It's not so easy. It's the biggest responsibility. Okay? Stop there.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranam.
Patitanam Pavanebhyo
Prabhupada ki jai.
Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namah.
Hare Krishna.
Srila Prabhupada.